Namaste. Hello, everyone. I'm Allie Morrison, and I want to share with you today something that I have found using your foam roller that really helps to open up your chest. And this time of year, it's starting to get chilly. We start to hunch our shoulders and round them forward. So, along with the previous video, to show you how way to open up the upper part of your back and your thoracic spine, I really want to share this particular stretch with you so that you can achieve that balance between the front of the shoulder girdle and then the upper back, which is that back aspect to your shoulder girdle. So, what you're going to need is a foam roller, and perhaps you're going to need a beach towel or some type of blanket. The foam roller I'm going to use today is really soft and squishy. So if you've got a really soft foam roller, that's great. And if you don't have a soft foam roller for this next stretch, what I recommend is taking a blanket or towel. And what you can do is open it up and simply drape it over top of your foam roller. It's going to add just a little bit of padding, a little bit of cushioning, and a little bit of give because we're going to be putting some weight on it. And oftentimes, that amount of compressive weight on muscle tissue that's not accustomed to it can elicit a lot of soreness. So, this is another trick for you as well. Okay, this is going to be something we do in on our belly. So, you're going to start prone. You want to have your foam roller kind of next to you so it's lengthwise of the body. And you're going to place your bicep. So it's this bottom muscle here on the upper arm. And that's going to go directly. So my palm is facing down, and that's going to go directly onto the foam roller. I'm going to move my legs and hips over and try to lift and move my torso. So I've got a little more space here between the torso and the chest. Then I'm going to slowly start to move over. So I'm moving onto my side body. So I'm rolling over onto the side of my hip. And at this point, it puts a lot of pressure onto the arm. And that's why it can be really helpful to have some extra padding in there. Okay, this hand is going to be used for leverage. So as you can tell, I have to use that to push down so that I can lean. From here, turn your head, because so much of what's happening in the anterior part of the shoulder is feeding into what's going on into the clavicle, into your collarbone and your neck. So turn your head away from the stretch that's happening all the way out to your hand. Now from here, I've got it, like I said, I've got a soft foam roller. I can do a rolling motion here. This creates some compression into the bicep muscle. Your bicep muscle is now getting pressed into the humerus bone. So you've got, it's like a bicep sandwich, if you will. You've got a firm foam roller, you have firm bone, and the bicep muscle is pretty much trapped in between. So you want to move slowly here. This is a really effective way. If you've been lifting weights, if you've been mountain biking, if you've been lifting anything heavy, stacking firewood, whatever it is that you do to keep some shortness and some tightness in the bicep muscle, this is really going to speak to that. So after you've rolled onto the bicep muscle for about 30 or 45 seconds, I'm going to turn my head again and just find a static stretch here. Now, if this is too much on your neck, allow your bottom ear to drop down towards the floor. This is going to create a little bit of stretch on the upper part of your neck. Take a deep breath. Perhaps you roll your hips open a bit more to increase the stretch. Maybe you can be patient here. We're starting to get into some fascial adhesions. We're starting to get into some deep muscle soreness here. I can certainly feel this in my bicep muscle. And I can even feel where the compression is starting to affect a little bit of the circulation down into the hand. Try squeezing the upper back muscles so that you broaden away from the midline, the two ends of your collarbones. Then lift your head, slowly come back to center, roll onto your belly, and come on up. Okay, we're going to do this on the second side. I don't want to leave you lopsided. So move your roll over to the other side. Come down onto your belly once again. You're going to place your bicep onto the roll. I'm going to move over just a little bit so you can see what this looks like. Okay, now I'm just going to slowly lift my torso, move my pelvis over. I want to have some space in here underneath the armpit between my torso and where the roll is. Palm is facing down. Okay, here we go. So we're using our free hand for leverage. I'm going to slowly roll onto the outer hip. And you keep your legs stacked if you like. You could put one leg behind the other. But at this point, you're probably definitely going to notice some tension in your bicep. So here we are rolling, rolling. If you feel like you're too close to your roll, you can always lift, move your pelvis over a little bit more before you roll onto your side. Your arm is pretty much in the side plane. And so what I mean by that is if I were seated up, the positioning of my arm, it's straight out from the body. I don't have it up here and I don't have it way down here. I literally have the hand coming straight out from the shoulder joint. So I've got that positioning and we're doing this nice rolling motion on the bicep. So a lot of people don't know this, but the tension that you have in your bicep muscles, in your anterior deltoid, which is here in the front of the shoulder, all of that affects where the head of your humerus is. The head of your humerus is this top knob here coming off of this long upper body bone. And that indicates your shoulder joint. Okay, so your scapula and the head of your arm bone come together along with your clavicle to comprise your shoulder joint area. So what that means is that if you have tension around the humerus, it can place tension on your shoulder joint. So if you're not accustomed to this, it's going to be pretty intense the first time you do it. And even once you are accustomed to the working like this, there's going to be times where you're just kind of wondering if you can actually do this. So if you want to learn more things like this, I want you to come to my foam roller and ball therapy class. The link for it is on my website at alliemorrison.com. And you can link to that via a live stream link. Okay, so after 35, 45 seconds in that position, we're just going to pause. I want you to drop your ear down towards your sticky mat or the floor. Take some deep breaths while you're here and allow your scapula bone to move back. Okay, I'm demonstrating that on the top shoulder, but the bottom shoulder, scapula moves back. If anything, even if you want to be more refined with it, it actually moves up towards the ears before it moves back and down the upper back. So that's helpful to know. These bony landmarks can let you know what's happening with the soft tissue, what's happening with your movement patterns once we know where they are. Okay, so here you are in this static position. Again, I'm noticing it's a lot of pressure on my bicep. I'm starting to feel a little bit of change in feeling and circulation down into the hand. This doesn't injure the nerve. It doesn't injure any of the blood circulatory structures that move up and down the arm. It's just an indicator of how deep into the musculature that you're working at this time. All right, to come out of the position, you're going to want to inhale and lift up, roll back onto your belly, and then come onto your elbows and take a break. And imagine you've got some soreness in there. Remember, any type of massage or compression is good for warming up the tissue, increasing your range of motion, and then thereby giving you the ability to develop more strength and awareness in any given area. Thanks for joining me for this little tip today. I hope to see you soon on the mat.